And away we go, everybody. Thursday. Happy Thursday to everybody. Shout out to the chat and our first two winners. Actually, I forget if I said V2 or V3, but AA Ron, you win a book, you'll win V2. And how about we do DP, DHEEP, you put in V3, you were the first one, and we'll take care of books like that. I got the V3s coming in, so I can start giving those away, and I'll let you guys choose which book you want today. I'll give away one or two more. Every Thursday we give away books, so that's a good thing. And we will do our Black Friday special really quick. So we're going to do something for Black Friday. I said this just recently. I announced it on the blog. Go there. This is the time to renew or subscribe if you're looking for the discount plus the event. I think now is the time to re-up. You get the 15% discount, folks. The coupon code on that is, where is the coupon code? It's B Friday. B Friday. And I don't know why that's not on the page here. I'll update that in a second, but here it is. Use coupon code BFriday for any of the subscriptions or the software. If you are in the midst of a trial or you're new, please do take advantage of the trial and then sign up. We will do the seminar on Saturday the 10th. So we'll get into a couple topics, and individually we'll do two kind of educational sessions, and then we'll do a Q&A open panel thing. Let's talk about where the markets are headed. Look at crypto, obviously. Is crypto going to survive? Pretty good argument on crypto recently. The Bitcoiners trying to separate themselves from the crypto people. I think that's pretty interesting to note. But still, at what price? Big shout out. Thanks everybody in the chat. Great to see everyone back in here for another session. What we do here is go through harmonic patterns in the financial markets. Look at all charts, patterns, everything. If you guys have a few things you want to look at, put it in the chat. I'll take a look. And again, we'll give away a couple more books. But now's the time to get with the software, take advantage of this whole situation, and join us on the 10th. If you are a member of Harmonic Trader or you recently purchased the program, you guys can attend as well. The best place to ask any questions, go to the basic members page and hit the Discord link and contact Miss Stephanie or ask one of the moderators in there. Send your questions in there. We can get you a direct answer if you want to attend or make sure you can get access. So let's get to the charts, folks. Let's talk crypto right off the bat. Kind of an uncertain week, somewhat a muted response despite continued contagion, I guess. I even saw that Gemini and a couple other ones were suspending some withdrawals. Not a good sign. Really not a good sign. I have a little money at Gemini. I've taken money off the exchanges, but I still have money at Gemini. So we'll have to monitor that situation. But for now, I think we got to go through our top 5 list. Most important crypto that's really going to tell us where this is going. We'll look at total as well, but Ethereum is still number 1. And Ethereum, listen, from the harmonic pattern perspective, needing to do the retest of this minimum Gartley pattern, okay? Really started off of this point back in July, but listen, you're in a type 2 and it looks like it's failing. And in our Discord group, someone mentioned that this was stretching out and it's becoming kind of a unique retest. I don't think this is going to hold. We have to also, we have confirmation. If this Gartley was the immediate pattern, we're looking at it just from a structural basis, but there's still some things that have to happen, even if it was going to be a long opportunity. And primarily, we're seeing it, is we need to do the check back retest to 1095 right now. Even though this thing is held the XA level at 1225, officially your confirmation would come in after that retest. And probably still need 2 bullish candles. So that hasn't changed. We're kind of just waiting for this thing to fall off the ledge and take a jump down. I mean, the hop at 957 just off of that pattern is not crazy to think. And that even though that's a 30% dump, 25% dump from current levels, I think it could happen pretty quickly. The issue for me that, like, what's going to happen here? Because that's the Gartley, the larger patterns that we talked about from way back when. I mean, go back to June with a lot of the Ethereum structures. I mean, that's a big bat. There's a Gartley. You have 2 patterns here. I think we know where the catastrophe really will occur. If it's going to occur, under these levels, under these lows, because then everything else fails. And that's when you go back to your all-time, where the all-time Ethereum 886 is just your only consideration. And why not? We've been there before. Let me get a better data feed, something that shows all of the history. There you go. That's a little bit better. Coinbase, I guess. Probably even better ones, but we know the deal. And it's all-time 886. Something like that. 680. Yeah, the all-time 886, even off the COVID low from 2020, you're still needing to test that. Keep an eye on just that fact, that simple fact that it's no different than the prior cycles. And we looked at a few other instances. Here you go. Okay, Ethereum, go back to your last cycle there, 886, folks. 886, just with these mega retracements, we've seen it so many times. Why not? If history is going to repeat and everyone's going to kind of use the price action of Bitcoin, crypto, Ethereum, and compare cycles, well, our job here is to measure to get the right levels. We want the right levels because we know those confirmation signals that happen at those levels are special, or more than just maybe a simple reaction. But we're not there yet. Ethereum on your daily, your longer term time frames, it has to do things, has to complete these kind of scenarios. The bigger pattern phenomenon, if you will, that we've seen really progress in all of crypto and the price action is these big crab patterns, the big 1618 declines. For Ethereum, 1280 is the main 1618 extreme level where not that it's going to immediately stop and that should be the end of it. It's let's assess the action just beyond that level. Tell me about what's going on. Tell me about the ability of the price action to get beyond that 1618. You do have confirmation. We go back to the sessions in June of how perfect that confirmation and trigger was. Now you have a second one. But again, I wouldn't even consider that until it does retest the level. In this case, it's 1090. I expect that to happen within certainly the next 15 days. This whole phenomenon of the last register and check back should take less than 30 days, and really checkbacks usually are like 10 to 15 days at most. So you're getting close. I think the 1090 level, for whatever's going to happen that gets you there, structurally has to happen. And if it fails, we're not going to be surprised. The only question I would have, if it does fail, is how deep in this zone will we go? It's a real tough proposition where you are across the board. The obvious failure breakdown on all of these, 1,000 level in Ethereum. So let's keep that at number one. Number two is the Binance coin. And I've been saying this for a while. This is the progress of Binance coin to do anything from this point after this crazy wick. You know, that's clear manipulation that happened. But it was more about the secondary test of these bat levels, all around 330. I mean, I normally wouldn't say this with any market. I would look at all trading action and history as relevant, but this was the 1-2 where above 330, I was like, thinking that was failing. But now with that kind of breakdown, all right, I'm looking at, we should assume target 2, and maybe we're just taking our time there. If this is all fake trading, and again, you got to remember, this is when a lot of the fraud was going on, end of October, early November, money getting siphoned, swished between exchanges, especially those crypto exchanges that were, moving money to prove assets, prove reserves. This is pure manipulation, but structurally, 330 on Binance coin, that could be it for now. And we know that even off of that retest, that pattern, 228 has to happen. Now, final thing on Binance coin to take note of, and it relates to our HSI triggers. We are at a level here, 256. Okay, that's target 1, 256. Let's just get the price level, because that's what we want. I mean, we really want the price levels. That's an important first stop. And we do have a harmonic strength index signal down here, but it's not responding. This is another situation where looking for that second bullish candle. Okay, here's the signal. There's the signal of the confirmation around 280 for just this most recent decline where we would think it's oversold. It's the trigger goes, and then you have the retest of that level, 278. But here's the final piece that has been helpful for me. I think a couple people have adapted this to the way they read these confirmation areas. That there's the check back right there, and then where's 2 bullish candles, 2 bullish price bars that agree with the bullish trigger. 1, but still not a second one yet. And this kind of rollover, failure, leaking, breakdown is important. And I wouldn't touch it until it has at least one more daily bullish candle. And you break under 257, 228, folks. That's the next level. And that's where it should go if the bat pattern, the secondary retest, is really the true harmonic here, because it's type 2. Keep an eye on that. Plenty of time there. Okay, number 3, let's put Bitcoin in there. Why? Because Bitcoin's just swimming like a duck. We have the software is, again, I hate to say this, depending on your data feed, but trying to draw out another shark pattern. It's really just about this with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is came to the 886 and paused. That was your first stop, actually, was 886. And based on the behavior, you had the reaction up, back down. We did have a shark here, an 886 shark, but just two reactions and then a failure. Now you're at the 113 of that. That's all that is, 113. But I wouldn't expect much more than just another simple reaction and back down lower. Okay, your HSI didn't trigger. Our bottom amplified RSI still trying to get out of the oversold zone, but not doing a great job of it. Looking, super weak. And you're 7 days now since that candle, 7 sessions since the big flush. This is just to me, it looks like a bearish little pennant that is about to squeeze it just next leg down. I don't think really much changes on Bitcoin. It's probably just a matter of time. Is Bitcoin, what do you guys think? Is Bitcoin different than crypto? Should Bitcoin be considered a completely different category? Don't know. I don't, again, for me, maybe that's a perceived security thing, but I would still say Bitcoin as a technical chart looks horrible. There's nothing here that would suggest that, even if I was the biggest believer in Bitcoin, that this is the right price. Bitcoin, Tails is saying Bitcoin is different. Clickbait says too many shorts on BTC. I think everything that we have said really most of the year, that any long position or any of these patterns are mere reactions, and that's it. Where is the reversal point? Where's Bitcoin going to go that finally closes the cycle out, and then you can start to try to build some lows? And nothing here suggests that that's at the point where you're getting there yet. Weekly, your monthlies, Bitcoin now, it's just a matter of time till we get to that all-time 886. And I'll stick to that 11.8. I don't need to spend much time on it. The only thing that, the only caveat with Bitcoin to consider, and I've said this before, you have taking shape of this 1618 characteristic with this kind of a breakdown. I mean, this is where your traditional breakdown, you're looking at the low. I'll look at the alignments, and it's really stretching out more of taking the shape of this kind of deep crab formation. Deep crab goes to minimum 1618, or even better, that 1902 on the deep crab. And 1902 puts you, a little right there, about 11,000. This is absolutely coming together in a ideal connect the dots way that makes sense with the long-term levels. I think we can all just say we need to find the liquidation point, and this is a natural liquidation point. Think of the whole bear market as one big creature. Like, this is one big animal from a year ago all the way down here. And that animal is like 3/4 of the way developed. And it's not going to not completely develop. We're not, think of this even as just a big bell-shaped curve, distribution curve. And you are at the right end here of final distribution, of washing this out based on this prior history, which is the key for technical analysis anyway. We're studying the past history to understand where the buyers and sellers really are. And now we're on the downslope of that. Okay, well, where does the 88% retracement of that action come out, where we naturally define that we've washed out the majority of the participants? So this is the thought. Okay, if we're waiting for opportunities in crypto and you are looking for something that to really take shape, you believe it, you got to line up your price and line up your liquidity. And beyond that, the rest of them, especially maybe the top, you'd get yourself outside even the top 5 crypto. I think you got potential liquidity concerns. So think of just sticking with those top ones, finding that crash price, and let it just signal. Let Ethereum do its thing. If it's back to 1085 now, or Bitcoin can take out the lows and slowly grind down to 11,000, I think that's your crypto play. And everything else is noise. I hope no one in here was in FTX. I mean, really, it's just unbelievable. And I hope no one lost any account with FTX or any of the ones that went bust this year. So, been a whole lot of false promotion. And a lot of people that have done that created, I think, a false sense of security. But we're seeing now how that really gets handled by the natural market. 2 more. Let's actually round out our list of Doge. What's Doge the dog doing for speculative insights? Interesting. Also, the whole proof of stake versus proof of work could become a little more important in the future, especially with the proof of stake. I think, after all of this, they're going to have to look at things like Ethereum and say, is that a proof of stake? Is that an investment? I mean, by definition, probably. Doge, a little bit different. Bitcoin, a little bit different. Okay, what are the patterns? Where are the prices? Doge, I wanted to show this. This is just remarkable. It kicked out this ABCD. Okay, back in June. Look what it did. Type 1. Now you come back for the type 2. 7.15 was the exact low. You tell me. Pretty amazing. ABCD, 709 as the low. The ABCD was 7.15 cents. My point is that the Doge completed a type 2. Now you want confirmation. Check back. Maybe that's down at 7.8 cents. Early in the development on a daily chart, but find that very interesting, and I'll look for the confirmation. Let's just put it that way. Look for the check back. The rest of them, I don't know. I'm really, the other one that was our top 5 or our number 5 was Cosmos, just because that had some real nice daily patterns, some back-to-back stuff. Here you go. And it was doing quite well up until just 2 weeks ago. But here was your big crab pattern, and that beautiful $7 floor. But you came up, hit target 1 off of that. No, you didn't get target 1. You didn't. But you went back-to-back patterns here. And this was a back-to-back on the bearish pattern. So now you're retesting this big zone. You have target 2. I've always said it's either 11 or 8. And we've been saying let's favor 8. But we're not there yet because we don't have confirmation. We were looking for that pullback move on Cosmos like that. But here's HSI. Hasn't triggered yet. But a great chart. Great back-to-back kind of formations. Quickly, let's do total crypto market cap. 1 or 2 interesting things popped up recently. Here's the total. These little patterns have been devastating. Remember, not even what beginning of the month, we're like, hey, look at that crab pattern. It's a little one. Maybe that could give us a type 1 and then a type 2 inside this zone. No, every time these little patterns generate, they've been devastating. I mean, more devastating than normal, which says if they are continuation signals, which they are, we're still continuing. I mean, that was a real sharp ABCD. There's a few things there. And the big pattern on a total crypto market cap is like a lot of these with the deep crab, some kind of deep crab. So last year's run to the all-time high from 2 trillion on this last segment, amazing. Peaked out a year ago. Okay? A year ago, earlier this week, big 1618 segment down. And you hit that level at around just under a trillion. And what are you doing? What have we done 6-8 months here? You're grinding, you're grinding, you're grinding. We've seen this pattern before. I'll show a couple of examples, but the thing to respect, not only the smaller patterns that said, hey, this is still going down, but the need for harmonic strength index, or even the fact, and we'll look at some of the examples that in these situations when you get these dud factors, I'm not going to be too surprised if we eventually make a run to the hop level at 445 billion. That's a target people need to consider for this cycle. That you still have that amount of possibility in front of you. If you believe in the levels of harmonic patterns and know how this stuff unfolds, especially in these kind of dud situations, beautiful structure. But look, sideways bearish pattern in the zone, bearish pattern in the zone. Those are signals for us as harmonic traders. That tells us certain things. Still down, more time. Give me a minimum confirmation. I mean, and that's where we've got to kind of stick it to follow our plan until that happens. So if you're a crypto enthusiast, you still need to define your levels, confirm them, okay, and look for that ideal trigger. And I think this hop level down here at 445 billion is a possibility on the next breakdown. Hey, can you guys tell me, is there something going on with the screen? Let me see here. Let me know how if there's a problem with the screen. I think let me know. So think about that. Go through the software. Look at your favorite crypto. And if you're facing that kind of a situation, if it's Ethereum or Bitcoin or total, and be prepared for these lower pattern levels to be triggered. The other thing is the DeFi. Okay, and here's another one. Back-to-back patterns all over the place. And another large deep crab. And currently, with this immediate shark pattern lower in the zone, I would still wait for confirmation. And you could get down to 28 billion on this move because we hit the hop. We completed the pattern 3 days ago. But look, no confirmation there, folks. Yeah, Snipes, everything in crypto needs more time. I agree with that. But I think it's more of the fact that we could get something serious that's like a big capitulation wick. And then you'd want to, that's pretty much what I would look for at this point. Not every hop is going to get hit. Not every capitulation is going to trigger ideal confirmation, but I would be looking for those, and probably only in the top 5 crypto for now. Even then, are you going to go to Cardano? What are you going to, Cardano, is that a refuge spot? No. I mean, Cardano, you go to the weekly. If this was a penny stock, which it is, and you're looking at this all-time history, get a better chart. There you go. I would say that this whole cycle doesn't come back down until maybe even this trading history, 14 cents, 12 cents. Yeah, we talked about this, I think, last week even. I mentioned why this is just such a duck. A couple more. Someone said XRP, and a lot of people are thinking that might be a place to hide. Probably not yet. Beautiful pattern. Again, where's the confirmation on this retest? We know the big numbers on XRPs, 37, 32 generally is where your confirmation is. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it until we got another confirmation, like back down here and back down into the zone. Something like that, come down deeper, 30 cents, retest the lows. Why not? Not there yet. I know a lot of people are waiting on that settlement, have been waiting for a long time, but there's the other thing. Okay, give me the signal to the right of that downtrend. Otherwise, if you don't get a signal to the right of the downtrend, you do a Solana. And that's why this still, all of this requires a lot of patience and time. I think crypto, I think a select crypto will have a place in the future, but most of it won't. Most of it will be gone or go to like basically fractional, so fractional it's not even worth it. Here's Solana. A couple of big patterns, bat pattern, all of that. That confirmation was around 32. It did nothing until then in July, which is amazing because when most were really rallying through July, August, this gave you a bearish HSI. And there's really not much there, Solana. It's tough. One or two more. Here's Sandbox, another one that came all the way back down. Look, beautiful, massive bat pattern. HSI on the weekly. Take a look. This is, I mean, incredible normally, but you checked back and then did sideways action for 3 months until you failed the 74 level. And where's the daily? There you go. Check out the shark. So on this retest, you have this really ugly bat pattern. If you, again, you're so close to failing in a major way under 52. This failed at 75 in my opinion. This has already failed. 7. Yeah, 1 second with my. I think I have to turn off one platform. Bear with me. I turn off. I'm having a problem with the bandwidth. That close that other software. Okay, let's keep going with one or two of the stocks, the mining stocks, your Maras, your Riots. They are, you know, they too are, I think, susceptible. And then you go off of where is it? Yeah, the weekly chart. Ever since they triggered these weekly HSIs have been down, where I think they have got to come back and retest lows of the year, where Mara goes to 4. Riot blockchain is, I think, could go to $1. And all of those possibilities, they were double. Like Mara should have, Riot should have held here on that reversal right around $4. And just a sideways up grind rolling over. Nothing there on those stocks either. Again, if I was looking at that, I would say that's just MicroStrategy all over again from 2000. And it goes back It comes all the way back down to these levels at $1.50 and goes sideways for another 2 years. Nothing there. MicroStrategy is probably the other one I think a lot of people are looking at. Daily time frame. I think the obvious is a complete flush under 170. Trying to hold it here, but with the last HSI on the daily, if that fails under 155, completely destroyed. Silvergate, yes, I only really tuned into that in recent days. That's holding 28. Pretty interesting that that's holding. The Silvergate's the one that funded the Alameda, I think. But I mean, I'm not looking at that as anything other than a complete completion of a cycle. It's probably at the 886 right now. Looks like this. That was 225. That was 225 in January. Amazing. Your 886 was 34 bucks. Failing that. And I would just go back to where you started the year. 16 bucks. Why not? That's how this stuff works out. Once you get to these certain points, all right, and you violate the levels, then it's just a complete distribution, bell-shaped distribution curve. And even if we were going to connect dots, check it out. Could be a Gartley, but 786 is there. There was a little ratio Gartley, we like to call those, because you don't have an ABCD. And then what's the ABCD off the top? I mean, really from 220 down to 86. 86 there. A point is even higher. It's almost 240. Wow, 150 and change. 10 bucks. Why not? That's where the ABCD is, right off the top. Just do the simple measurement of the A to B and then project that down C to D level. Maybe you buy puts, I don't know. Hey, Darren, you're asking, can the sun icon scanning be designed in TradingView just like a filter to scan any indices and stocks offered? I don't think at the moment, especially with some of the new limitations that came in. The question is, when you have a pattern, let me show a pattern. Yeah, like here's a pattern, and it's a great question too. With the TradingView, I don't know. With the other ones like eSignal, yes, and MetaTrader, yes. Can we scan to show the sun icon? Well, we do have the scanner. Remember, for TradingView folks, we do have scanner capabilities. Let me go to there really quick. Nope, not that one. Is it this one? No, let me show the scanner really quick. Because the scanner is, you have to set that up. But it has, you can put up to 8 symbols, and you can get the readouts. Here you go. This will populate in a second. But it'll generate where the pattern completion is and the number of bars. I think that's tough to see because of the colors. Check out the videos we have on that. Do check out the videos that we have on the scanner that are on the website, please. And I think they're in the Discord too. Okay, let me circle back on a couple more of these. MicroStrategy, Silvergate was the other one. Riot, Mara. I think that's about it. I think that's enough. They're all in fairly precarious situation. And the rest of it, like, is there anything good here? I'm kind of surprised by this Chili's. Really remarkable, this Chili's chart, that it's still holding up there. That's a really nasty broadening wedge. Look at that, like that, and like that. That's probably one of the most interesting crypto of all. I still have been looking for, actually all the way back there, I've been looking for the return to 11 cents. We almost got it last week. We were as low as 14. That would have been, how amazing would that have been at 11.21? Hey, appreciate that. The comment of, yeah, I agree. The cryptos for now are gone. Maybe not gone, but I think you have to sort everything out. And I think we have to just line up prices. What's the right price? Oh, here's the last one, Coinbase. Terrible. And check it out. You're back. We have clear patterns here. I mean, it's an amazing deep crab pattern, but again, the 48.12 level, you're right there right now, has held many times on Coinbase. Will you get? Okay, thank you. I don't know why I'm having a problem with my connection today. Anyway, so Coinbase, and keep an eye on it. It hasn't stopped. There's your monthly chart since the IPO. You tell me. Is that an opportunity to get long on the monthly? There's the IPO straight down. That looks like a rug pull to me. I don't care what they say. That's like an institutional rug pull right there. We're going to dump crypto on retail market right here at 350, and you're now 48, and that's 15 months later. I don't know. Thanks, Crypto Hammer. I appreciate it. You're the GOAT too. No worries. Listen, take advantage of the trial. Even if you can't get access to the TradingView trial until later or after Thanksgiving or whenever, take the trial first. He's asking about, just saying about they can't get to it until after Thanksgiving. That's great. Yeah, they did. Stupid Head is saying, didn't they list at the all-time high of Bitcoin? Just about. Just about. It was a great move, but this concerns me. I'll let you guys know. I have moved most of my money off Coinbase as well. I have. I just don't like it from a trading perspective. I don't. Hey, if that was me and I had $1 million and FTX froze my account and that guy was walking around Bahamas, I'd be in the Bahamas like yesterday, waiting for him at that grocery store. I would. And I haven't, don't hesitate in saying that for one bit. And with him clowning around the way he did too, tweeting, whatever, I don't pull that nerd shit. I just don't put up with that nerd shit. So I say that to everybody, that if you still have money on your exchange, especially if it's not a big one, these are bad signs. I'm concerned about Binance. I don't think Binance is going to be immune. They're going to probably, and I think Binance Coin, maybe there's a short somewhere in Binance Coin, because I just think this is industry wide. But I would still, if I was somebody with FTX, especially one of these guys on Twitter is saying they lost $1 million, 7 figures, whatever, yeah, I'd be in Bahamas looking for the dude. Last one. Let's keep it cool. Basic attention token. Okay. I thought this is a great idea. Okay. It's not at this price. Maybe hop level at 5.6, but how many of these reactions that we saw, go to 20, off at 26, 28 cents, and just nothing here. This is kind of the conclusion, that if we get that washout phase, I want everyone, especially those with the software, to understand that this could be a massive opportunity when it happens. But I would target hop levels like this. Does that mean that BAT's going to go to 5 cents or 5.65 cents? Maybe. Or maybe it'll get real deep into the zone and make a run at the hop until it gives us an oversold trigger. That's our proposition here. With this thing breaking down the way it has, that's just nasty. That's really troubling. Be aware of that. Yeah, it could be. I think that great comment. Yeah, it could be another washout like Bitcoin at 3K. Bitcoin at 3K in 2018, and no one wanted it. So there's no reason why a lot of these can't go that low. Cardano to 10 cents, these to 5 cents, 3 cents, 1 cent. And then when it happens, and let's say you get some kind of massive dead cat bounce, then all those guys are going to be like, yeah, I told you we should have wait for a penny, and now it went back from a penny to 15 cents, so I made 15x. That's the way you're going to make 15x the next cycle, because they all go to a penny. Enough. We'll see how the weekend shapes up, what other news events could come together. But the macro picture, folks, which you really need the macro picture to change. If inflation peaked, what have you, you need that to happen now to help crypto if you're looking for a change. And all of that can be found in interest rates. And look at what interest rates are doing. 2-year chart. Okay. 4 days. 4 days sideways, and now we break out. And that's something, it was a matter of a few days, but doesn't look like we're going to get the major short-term correction flush. It's probably just a pause here. You're back above 446, almost 450. Target a run back to 5. And we have this the third test where that almost triggered. I mean, so close on that HSI, but that's going to be yet a third test in really since October, which is kind of unusual, but look how that's trending. So every time you come back to HSI, you have a successive continuation move of usually 7 to 8 days. So I expect interest rates are about to climb at least the next 4 to 5 bars, next to 4 to 5 days. What does that tell you about the market? They're inverse. 10-year yield, okay, and actually the 2-year is still way above where the 2-year. 2-year has come off. 10-year has come off a lot more than the 2-year, but the 10-year is triggering harmonic strength index. So this whole respite of the past 2-3 weeks is almost over, and we could trigger that today. Maybe you check back on that. You'd want to. Either way, oversold condition is taking shape to come out of the zone and start to move back up. So damage not really that severe. Even on your weekly chart, take a look. Tomorrow's close on interest rates, I think, going to be really important. See where that does finish up and into next week. But isn't it interesting? And we talked about this. It came back and kissed the top end of the hop level. Is that an area where, for now it is, 366 is immediate support. And HSI around 430 is top end resistance in this weekly zone. So, we could get this market to even stay within this range and retest the top end. Rates back up again. That would not be good for a year-end outlook for the markets. You'd probably get a lot of tax loss selling if interest rates start ticking up here in the next 3 to 5 days. Going into Thanksgiving, going into next week. Amazing. Next week is Thanksgiving. But the rates will hold the key. I really feel that's critical, and these are those two markets and then the VIX itself. We talked about this just on Tuesday. Couple of bullish Gartley, bearish bat. Still quite early. But we're in a type 1 off the bat. You're retesting the Gartley here. All of this somewhere around a 22 or 23 VIX. Trying to really put in a low on the VIX, 22, 23, where you start to do this. You start to make your way up again. And also notice, really, the rally started off of the bat pattern. And we were wondering, like, how could we have a bearish bat pattern back in October? Like, we've got a bat pattern. Does that mean the VIX is going to come off? And that was mid-October, and it sure did, and that led to the rally. So now, is that done? Early stages, 23.18 on that VIX is the XA on the bat pattern. That is the absolute level to be watching for really the VIX index to continue to close above that. It's early, but if that gets going in a couple of bars, don't be surprised. We'll get to the other markets, yeah, in a second. It looks like Nasdaq's trying to rally back. Now only off 35. S&P's off 14, and the Dow is up 20 bucks, 20 points, sorry. Let's go look at those. The Dow, strongest of all. Take a look. Here's what I'm looking for off of the low. And this has been, really, we had the pattern since early October, this butterfly. It was retesting your June lows. We've talked about that time and time again. You believe it or not, from a harmonic perspective, even though in the diamonds the low went below the June low, the confirmation, the retest, the other pattern, still makes that a successful test. My question is, does this other butterfly come back down? Do we eventually see some kind of retest of the butterfly one more time? Or does this keep going? Because it all depends on the trend line off of that low. You have to maintain that now. And so you can keep bumping stops is really the point here. This should not, if you're going to keep going higher, and I'm not saying that because there's one thing I want to point out, but you have to maintain this trend line. You take out the trend line, and you could almost wait for it. Get to this point here. Get under the trend line, start rolling over, then you would have something. I think you do, because there's our signal. That arrow, that's the HSI indicator, says reaction is over. Okay, all of that is around 330, 331 is better, but we're 336.50 at the moment. If we wait for two candles, two bearish candles, 1, 2, that suggests maybe more like 337, 338, but it's not 339. So if you're really going to see something where, hey, this market's taking off, how do we know? It's above 339. Be aware of that. Okay, first person to type in V3 is going to win a volume 3. Keep you guys, make sure you're paying attention. I'll give away one more towards the end of today's session. V3. I just got a whole new batch of volume 3s, and extra mile delivery, you win. Way to be right there on the keyboard. I'll give away one more. But guys, the books, I can't believe the cost of the book, to print the book, is up over 2 years ago, is up 40%. It's absolutely insane. So I'm gonna have to be a little more judicious with the giveaways. But I'll give away one more book towards the end. About another 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. But I want to look at the Dow, stay on the Dow. I also want to show you the Russell, since those are bigger, broader, older industry. Tell me about those. Well, Russell just formed this bat pattern at 186 in the bullish zone. Look at all the back-to-back patterns here. I think this is a really nice chart for Russell. Well defined. Crab pattern, we know 172.88. That's absolute limit for support. And interestingly enough, type 1, come back down. There's the type 2, almost exactly at the hop. And now we go through the 1-2 for the bat pattern. Reaction down, retest the zone again, and now we're back out. I would say 187. The moment keeps going in and out. That's the Russell. Final thing, let's do the SPY for those big caps. And the SPY is a 2 of 2, but is the SPY going to get up to retest the 411 area with the prior bat pattern? Couple of things coming together where we're seeing a couple of patterns need to be retested. Maybe that's the year-end rally. I mentioned that to the members in a market update just the other day, where we have some clear numbers that suggest that we can still be in a bear market and have even a devastating retest to hit these patterns that formed back in August and then roll over, end of the year, January thing. That explains what's going on right now. Your immediate target 411.14 on the SPY probably comes together pretty quickly on any breakout. Could be, I know a lot of people are looking for this thing to crash immediately. I would wait for the retest. Why not? Why wouldn't we get a type 2? Keep an eye on that one. Final one, because I'm just going to do the ETFs today. Go to the Qs. Same deal. Qs have patterns. Nice to see it go positive for the day. All right. There you go. My question, again, we're a type 1. We had a butterfly on the Qs. 289. Really firm resistance. I wouldn't be surprised to see that thing try to make another run up there, because we still need HSI to trigger. And it's not a type 2, it's a type 1. A tough market. I mean, really, really a tough market, because today, this morning, with the big drop down, we were looking at a potential failure, a 3-bar failure, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and this is why today's close is critical. You need to see the Qs close above 285. This morning, had I done this session 2 hours ago, I would have said, ooh, 1, 2, 3, and then a failure. Maybe we go back and retest the gap. This is how tight this trading is right now. SPY looks better. The diamonds look better. Russell maybe looks like a retest against the bearish patterns. The triple Qs, I think they're going to be range bound as they continue to consolidate in the levels where 265 is your support and 290 resistance for now. One or two more. You guys want to look at UNG? I see that. I do too, because you've got this. And these are patterns. So this is good stuff that we want to see. Big shark pattern, real nice. And also remember, we had the check back on the shark, and last time we really got into it, we were looking at this big candle. It popped, came back. Well, you went right back to the zone. I still say $19, $20, anywhere underneath there, you're in a good spot for the T1 move. And Boyle, that's such a whipsaw, right? I know some of you guys are following Boyle closely. especially after what it did earlier this year. That one can really whip around. This is getting close. This is getting close to breaking out of this consolidation wedge. And it's a type 1. It's just a delayed type 1. So do understand, folks, that I prefer UNG over Boyle, but I would look at it this way. Target 1, 75.41, and be aggressive in your management up there. Okay? Don't be surprised, and don't contact me and say, hey, is this still working out? If it comes, let's say this checks back to 38 tomorrow. Very well could. Okay, just understand that's how this thing moves. Been real choppy in the last month as it shakes itself out. Nat gas is trying to do something here. Crude oil is not as pleasant. Where's crude oil? And let's look at USO. Today's been a day of ETFs. USO looks like this. Okay, coming back for a type 2. I would say 66. You're 69, 70 bucks at the moment. Beautiful type 1, type 2 already. How did we miss that? There's one, maybe two at 66. Not there yet, but look at the uptrend. That comes in a nice spot. Next week. Book that for next week, folks. Get USO on your calendar for next week. That's in an interesting spot where another 7 to 10% lower, you'd want to look for it. Nat gas, maybe more of a time than price issue. But crude oil, energy, we know that we're in a pause here at a minimum. Even in the strongest of markets, these are in a pause. And XLE, I think I wanted to show that. I couldn't get the right chart last time. XLE, again, a couple patterns right around 99 bucks, but this HSI on the monthly is checking back literally now, like right now. And so you need the check back, and you would still need 2 more bearish months before I would consider that even a bearish proposition. It might pull back here, but the larger signal is like 2 months away. So you're late stages, but if it continues to slide higher, don't be surprised as it tries to finish that whole segment. It's an interesting spot. Anyway. Okay, last one. I'm going to give away one more V3. Type in V3, folks. We'll get out of here for today. And let everybody know about remind everybody. Gary Fabian, you win V3. And listen, everybody, get over to harmonictrader.com. For those that won your book, you have to go to Discord and contact Miss Stephanie. Send them your address, complete mail address, and that Discord can be reached here on number 4. Also, wanted to show everybody the new Harmonic pattern cheat sheet. Big shout out to the moderators. Check out this thing. This is really cool. This is on the basic members page, the Harmonic pattern cheat sheet. It's got everything. Check this out. Look at that. I really appreciate you guys for putting this together. All of the patterns are there, and you have even the type 1, bullish PRZ, bearish, HSI checkback. You guys, you knocked this out of the park. Beautiful document, beautiful cheat sheet. And, I got a lot of help. I gave you guys the resources, but you guys were the ones that really put this together. So check that out. And that's available on the basic members. That's all free. And that's number 5. And just click the cheat sheet if you want to get that. Really cool. Thanks, guys. That's when the community comes together and helps. We are great people here. I appreciate that. Paul Rule P, you were the first one. Hold on. No, man, I'm sorry. You were second. I don't know if it comes up, but just to show you what came up in here's my link. Here's my feed. That's what it was. It was him, and then it was you. Check that out. Look, plenty of chances to win. Okay, every Thursday I give away books, and I'll keep doing that. Now that I got Volume 3 back in stock, I'll give away more of those. And I think that's the best book, although many of you will be getting V2s. So check that out. And look, you can get all of the books free as free PDFs. That's the number 2 section. It's a basic membership. So all 4 is there. Dig in. Check it out. And I would start with Volume 3 because that's got kind of all of the whole structure, harmonic pattern framework. So that's what I have for today, folks. Again, thanks for showing up. Congratulations to all the winners. Contact Miss Stephanie and send her your mailing address. And we'll get together back on Monday, 12 noon Eastern. Have a great weekend. And as always, go get them, folks. We'll see you next week.